At long last. Sorry, everybody. There's a bit of a hiccup there with my system. I don't quite know what happened. It wouldn't seem to go live, but we are live now. So good evening, everybody. It's Sunday night. It's 8 o'clock, so it must be time for Nick's Sunday night quiz. So let's hope you're all in good form tonight. Let's see who has joined us already. We've already got 28 people logged on, raring to go with tonight's quiz. Faye's just joined us. One of the boobies, she's saying, evening, Nick and Lydia. Hope you had a great weekend. The boobies are all ready for you. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Yeah, it's great to see they're ready and willing and raring to go. Martin Davis has said, hi, Nick, no video yet. Oh, did you actually hear my voice, Martin? I don't know. It kept going round and round and round saying you're going live, and it didn't seem to go live. But however, it is now. So at least we got it sorted. Mike Yates has just joined us. So good evening, Mike. Hope you're well. Keeping and raring to go for tonight's quiz. Stuart's just joined us saying, evening, Nick. Since we're mainly playing on the Sunday, I've calculated on the basis that you get through 3 points on an average quiz that we've watched. You consume more than 150 pints live. Well, tonight we've probably got about 4 pints. We've got a bit of hobgoblin to start us off. Closely followed by, I've got some Brewdog Hazy Jane, which sounds quite nice. That's a nice little number. I've got some Oakham Citra, of course, one of my favourites to keep me going. And the wife's loaded me up with some Doom Bar to finish me off, so to speak. So we'll see how we get on that. But well calculated. That's what I like to see. People that work out things like that. 150 pints. That's not bad in a year, really, is it, I suppose? Of course, that's the only time I drink, obviously, on Sunday nights. But never. Oh, there is Wednesday nights as well, of course. Oh, dear. Right, Ian's just joined us saying, good evening. Ian Barker, he's saying, evening. How are you doing? Well, we're fine, thanks, Ian. We've had a lovely weekend. It's been sunny. It's been, I wouldn't say it's been really warm, but it's been certainly warm in the sun. But unfortunately, get out that sun this time of night now, and it's beginning to get chilly again outside very quickly. But yes, good evening to Andrew and Jane from sunny Yelvertoft, they're saying. So good evening to you. Mick and Bev have joined us. They're online now. Good evening, Mick. Good evening, Bev. Hope you're keeping well and raring to go. Lisa's just saying, evening all. A Scorchio 90 degrees. 32 degrees in New Money in California. Hope everyone is enjoying coming out of lockdown. Well, slowly but surely, yes, we are, Lisa. There seems to be a little bit more freedom, but we'll see how it goes. Ross has just joined us, Ross Morley. Ross, Vic, and the old lady. That's what I like to see. So cheers to you, Ross. Let's hope for a good quiz tonight for you, and let's see how we get on. Martin Davis, he's saying we're all okay now. Excellent. Chris Rowland's just joined us. Good evening, he's saying. Good evening, Nick, Chris, and Mary from St Ives, Cornwall, and his friends are here again. Excellent. That's what I like to see. So cheers to you as well, Chris. Great to see you. I trust it's been a nice day down in Cornwall as well. I think it's pretty much been wall-to-wall sunshine across the UK today. Not really sure, but you'll have to let me know if you've had inclement weather compared with the rest of us. Clive and Janet have just joined us from the teasers. They're saying good evening. Turned out nice again. Yes, it has. And Keith Mitchell's just joined us. He's saying hi from Keith and Glennis in Minehead. So another team from down the southwest. Great to see you, Keith, as normal, and you, Glennis. Let's see how well you fare tonight. Sarah's saying, hi, Nick, feeling a bit delicate and tired tonight. First time socialising in months, and I got a bit carried away. Hopefully Russ, Jones and Joe will be on better form. Oh dear, Sarah, I can't believe that. Yes, we had a few friends around yesterday afternoon, first time for a long time, and we sat out in the garden as you do, and we downed a few pints until it got a bit cold, so then we had to come in. But yeah, oh well, great to see you. Now then, as far as last week's concerned, first of all, I need to make an apology for one of the questions I got completely wrong, one which was argued about surprisingly, and nobody actually just said you're wrong, Nick. You know. Yeah, but nobody actually put it on the chat that I was wrong. It was the question about the bands from Wales or something written in some village in Wales. Which song? I can't remember the names of the songs. But they weren't written by Coldplay at all. They were written actually by Led Zeppelin. So well done to the teams who pointed that out the day after the quiz. Because, of course, I suppose it was in a... I think it was in a trivia trail, so it had to be Coldplay, even if it wasn't Coldplay and it was Led Zeppelin instead. But never mind. Let's not worry about that one. So I do apologise for getting that one wrong. That was from last week's quiz. So even us even us quizmasters can get things wrong more often than not, actually. But never mind. Right, Chris Meads has just joined us saying, good evening, Nick and Lydia. And Kevin's just joined us from the Rugby Rotary Club. So good evening, all my friends in the Rotary Club. I hope you're all keeping well and raring to do the business tonight, see how well we can fare. Now then, as far as scores were concerned, we had some excellent scores last week. Top of the pops, we had two teams, Split the Difference and the Quizzy Rascals. Both formidable quiz teams, managed 64 points each. We had PRS on 63 points, a point behind. Then we had the Teasers, a point behind them on 62, with Ian and his bottle of Shiraz on 61, so that was all very close at the top. Then we had three teams, Don Quixote, we had Team UK, USA with Lisa, and we had Carol Green all on 60 points, so that was a great score. And then again, there were a number of really good scores in the high 50s. We had the Rugby Rotary Club and Weak Links. I think it was the Weak Links' highest ever score, 59 points on a Sunday night quiz. They did very well. Debbie McCarthy just behind them on 58. We had Jane and Anne Gifford from Cambridge, Middletoft on a fantastic that's Uppertoft, 57 points. And then we had Pinky and Perky, Michelle, Paul and Trish, Pick and Mix, Famous Five, all on 55 points. So well done to everybody there. Yeah, Robin's just saying Led Zeppelin and Coldplay are so easy to confuse, aren't they? Yes, they are, Robin, clearly. I'm amazed you didn't correct me on that one. I know you questioned the fact that Coldplay were a heavy rock band, of course, but never mind. Right, then let's see who else has just joined us. We have right, Penny Graham's just joined us from a lovely Holly-on-Sea. She's saying it's sunny but chilly Holland-on-Sea. Yes, I suppose you've got the coldness of the North Sea there, which is, I suppose, brings a chilly wind. But then it's been quite cool here as well. Penny, out of the sun. It's lovely in the sun. Chris is just saying, lovely and sunny day in St Ives today and all last week. Summer is on the way, and I think it is. I think we've got a very early summer so far this year. Debbie's saying, good evening, all from a sunny Hill Morton. So good evening to you, Debbie. Graham and Jane have joined us. They're saying good evening from Uppertoft. So good evening to our Uppertoft players. Toft, for everybody that doesn't know, is a little village near Cambridge. David and Anderson, they've just joined us from a sunny Essex as well. So we've got representation from all over the country today. North, south, east and west. We've got Jed and Tracy have just joined us. They're saying hi all, Jed and Tracy checking in. And Jill and Steve have just joined us. Steve and Jill are saying it's sunny in Middletoft. So I expect they're not too far away from Uppertoft. So I expect it's about as sunny as each. Both have about the same weather, I would have thought. They only live a few hundred yards away from each other. Pick and Mix have just joined us. So good evening to Pick and Mix. And Carol's just saying, Cornish Tyke here, lovely weather today. Suntan coming on a treat. Trish has just joined us. She's saying the Ridgeways from a very sunny Welton signing in. Well, I needed to ask you, Trish, is the pub opened at Welton? Is the garden open? You just put it in the chat and let me know whether the garden's back open at Welton, so I can go out on my bike and at least have a beer there one night. Home Alone 6 evening, Nick. We're all here. Excellent. Well done. Home Alone 6. And it was Home Alone 6, of course, but I had to apologise to Carol because she was the one that pointed out the fact that Led Zeppelin was the answer and not Coldplay in last week's quiz questions. But never mind. So well done there. What's this? Roy saying, hey, Nick, got out to a pub garden this week. When we got there, all the tables were taken. The barman asked if I mind waiting. I said, that's fine. He gave me a tray and said, table 4 needs drinks. Oh, very, very witty, Roy. Very witty. Carol's just pointing out that the quizmaster is always right, which of course he is. Ian's saying Don Quixote signing in from London, Manchester and Lower Hill Morton. So great to see you lots. Well done, Don Quixote. We've got Squeaky Bob. They've just joined us. Good evening, Squeaky Bob. And Val Palm Sound just joined us with a Quizzy Rascal. So hi all, they're saying. Trish is saying, yes, the pub is open. Excellent. I thought their garden might be open. No, there's one or two that have done it successfully, but right, Georgia and Rory have just joined us from York. So good evening to the Yorkies. I hope you're well. What's that? Robin said, I knew Led Zeppelin recorded Bron Ye Young Stomp, but I thought that as Coldplay's Bees fan, you knew best. Trish is saying, if you do come out to the pub, you need to book a table beforehand. Pop in and see us. We will do, Trish. That sounds good. I'll have to give them a ring. George has just joined us. Good evening, George. Hope you're well. He's saying, hey, hey. So big wave from us as well, George. PRS are signing in. Roy Jones just saying, no more Coldplay questions. That would go down like a lead balloon. Well, I was thinking of actually singing some Coldplay to really drive the nail in. My wife, I have been practicing my scales this week just to make sure that you see, just to make sure that I can keep up with everybody. But we'll see about singing a bit of Coldplay later for you all. Right then, tonight's rounds. Let's just get that up because I haven't mentioned what the hell we're doing tonight. Sorry, let me just alter my camera for a second so I can see what I'm doing. Right then, everybody. I hope you can all hear me well tonight because at least I've got the right microphone connected. I've also got the right camera connected, so I should be in reasonably high definition. Not super definition, but high definition. What you singing? Right, here we go then. Round of one is entitled Sunday, 18th April. Sunday, 18th April. That actually gives you 15 questions in the first round. Quick fire first round. Round number two is a history round. We all like a bit of history, don't we? I'm sure. So history round is round number two. Round number three tonight is entitled Connections, which is a straightforward connections round. I asked two sets of 4 general knowledge questions, where question 5 and 10 ask for a connection between the previous 4 answers. Round number 4 tonight is chain letters. Now, chain letters is very similar to a trivia trail, but instead of just using the last letter, we can use either the last 2 or the last 3 letters, and they're the first 2 or the first 3 of the next answer, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. Michelle's just saying, good evening, everyone, from Crick. Team Gibbons, that's what I like to see. So we've got the full team tonight, haven't we, Michelle? That's great. Should do well then. I'm sure you are. What's PRS book? Roy, it's taken some time since August to notice. What? Ian Miller, boo, still in Wales. Won't be playing, lol. Never mind, Ian. You can still add a little bit of banter if you like, if you can't play tonight. But never mind. Enjoy yourself in Wales while you can. Round number 5 tonight. Now, what's round number 5? What's that entitled? Oh, it's a music round. Something to do with music. 10 questions about Coldplay. So just keep your answers to yourself. With all the answers of Led Zeppelin, you'll be pleased to know. No, round number 5 is a music round. So, Ian's with the grandkids. Excellent. There's nothing better than grandkids for wearing you out, is there, Ian? I should know because I was worn out on Wednesday by them. And then on Friday by them, and today, this afternoon by them as well, but never mind. And then round number 6 is a... Oh, we got Coldplay playing in the background now. I think the wife's put it on just to annoy everybody. Round number 6 is a general trivia round. General trivia, 10 general knowledge questions, which will test your knowledge to the limits, he says knowingly. Right then, in just a minute to go. We've now got 63 teams raring to go. Martin's just asking Ian, which bit of God's country are you in at the moment, he's saying. So do feel free to join in with the banter. Plenty of jokes tonight, especially anything to do with going back to the pubs or whatever else. That'd be great. In fact, anything would be good. Right then, everybody. It is now 2015, so eyes down, look in. If you'd like to make sure you've got your nibbles, your drinks, your pens, your bits of paper, whatever you need, your team already raring to go, we will make a start with a quiz. Now, 15 questions. Round number 1 entitled Wednesday. Oh, wait a minute. I'll get up there first. Sunday even, not Wednesday. What am I going on about? Right, Sunday the 18th of April. Sunday the 18th of April. So question number 1 must have an answer starting with the letter S. And you want to do that right? That's fine. That's fine. Right, question 1 starts in... Oh, the famous 5 have just joined us. Good evening, John. Hope you and Hillary are keeping well. Have you got a full team tonight? You'll have to let me know. Right, starting with the letter S. Who is a mute yellow bear with black ears and nose that performs magic tricks and practical jokes and infamously squirts his handler and other people with his iconic water pistol? Well, he used to when I was a kid anyway. So who is a mute yellow bear with black ears and nose that performs magic tricks and practical jokes and infamously squirts his handler and other people with his iconic water pistol? One word will do for that one. Just the name of a bear. starting with the letter S, surprisingly. Question number 2, starting with the letter U. This one's a bit trickier. What is the name of the easternmost terminus on the London Underground's District line? So question number 2 again. What is the name of the easternmost terminus on London Underground's District line? It's an area of London, starts with the letter U, which helps you somewhat. Not many that start with the letter U. So even if you don't know it, you can have a stab at that one, I'm sure. Question number 3, starting with the letter N. The electronics company Philips were founded in 1891 by Gerard and Frederick Philips. In which European country? So question 3 again. The electronics company Philips was founded in 1891 by Gerard and Frederick Philips. In which European country? Now, do remember that starts with the letter N. Now, question number 4, this starts with the letter D. Letter D. Whose works include the poems Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night and Death Shall Have No Dominion? So whose works include the poems Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night and Death Shall Have No Dominion? That's a 2-word answer, and obviously his first name starts with the letter D, as 1 or 2 of you might know that one, I'm sure. Question number 5, you need to visualize question number 5. What human rights organization has a logo which consists of a candle surrounded by barbed wire? Again, a 2-word answer I'm after. So what human rights organization has a logo which consists of a candle surrounded by barbed wire? Well, the hobgoblin's going down all right as we speak. A fruity little number. Question number 6, widely used as a reserve currency. What is the 3rd most traded currency in the foreign exchange markets after the US dollar and the euro? So question 6 again, widely used as a reserve currency. What is the 3rd most traded currency in the foreign exchange market after the US dollar and the euro? Now, question number 7. This is the most difficult question in the quiz by a country mile. It's a number I'm after. It's 3 digits long, and it starts with the number 1, which will help you. Named after a famous Hungarian physicist, the Kármán line was an attempt to define a boundary between Earth's atmosphere and outer space. But at what altitude above the Earth's surface is this line? It's a nice round number, so you can have a guess at that. So named after a famous Hungarian physicist, the Kármán line was an attempt to define a boundary between Earth's atmosphere and outer space. But at what altitude above the Earth's surface is this line? And as I said there, it's a nice round number. So don't think too much about that one. Question number 8. Another number is consisting of 2 digits. Pretty straightforward this. What is the equivalent temperature of 30 degrees centigrade in degrees Fahrenheit? I think Lisa was fairly close with her guess earlier with this one, but never mind. So what is the equivalent temperature of 30 degrees centigrade in degrees Fahrenheit? It's pretty accurate as well. That's pretty close to an exact amount. 2-digit number, starting, of course, with the letter 8, on the number 8 even. For anybody that's joined us a little bit late, do remember that Lydia's putting all the questions down in the chat on the right-hand column. And, of course, anybody that wants to put a bit of chat down there, feel free, put a joke down, whatever else you like. Question number 9, starting with the letter T. Which type of animals feature in the opening and closing titles of the TV show One Foot in the Grave? You've got to remember that, surely. Number 7. It's kilometres I wanted, sorry, yes. It's the number of kilometres. Named after a famous Hungarian physicist, the Kármán line is at what altitude above the Earth's surface? It's measured in kilometres. It's a 3-digit answer starting with the number 1. And it's a nice round number. Question number 10. Which 1989 film has a title that is a line said by the inventor Wayne Zelinsky to his wife after one of his experiments affecting the children goes horribly wrong? So question 10 again. Which 1989 film has a title that is a line said by inventor Wayne Zelinsky to his wife after one of his experiments affecting the children goes horribly wrong? It's a 5-word answer starting with the letter H. Question number 11. King Zog I, who died on this day in 1961, was the ruler of which country that has both Adriatic and Ionian coastlines? That's got to start with the letter A, which kind of helps you somewhat with that one. So King Zog I, who died on this day in 1961, was the ruler of which country that had both Adriatic and Ionian coastlines? He was only ruler of the country between the wars, actually, but not up until 1961. Question number 12, starting with the letter P, 2-word answer really, well, 3-word, but you'll get the idea. Named after its 2 founders, which American company, headquartered in Cincinnati, specializes in a wide range of personal, healthcare, and hygiene products? 2-word answer starting with the letter P. So named after its 2 founders, which American company, which is headquartered in Cincinnati, specializes in a wide range of personal healthcare and hygiene products? I asked this question my granddaughter this afternoon, who's been reading the books, and unfortunately she didn't know this one, but never mind. Though I did ask the question in a slightly different way. Question 13. One of Harry's best friends, I didn't tell her that, which character in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter fantasy novel series has the middle name Bilious? So question 13 again. One of Harry's best friends, which character in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter fantasy novel series has the middle name Bilious? I also didn't tell her it started with an R. 2-word answer. So that makes that a bit easier for you. Yeah, but how many of you would have known it without the clues? You see, you might not. Question 14. Starting with the letter I. Born in Portsmouth in 1806, which engineer designed the Clifton Suspension Bridge and the transatlantic steamships, the Great Western and the Great Eastern? So question 14 again. Born in Portsmouth in 1806, which engineer designed the Clifton Suspension Bridge and the transatlantic steamships, the Great Western and the Great Eastern? And question 15, this is one I heard on the chase the other week. An agreement designed to build a Europe without borders, known as the Schengen area, is named after a village in which country? So question 15 again. An agreement designed to build a Europe without borders, known as the Schengen area, is named after a village in which country? I'm sure some of you may have even been there. To the village, I mean. Right, there we have it. 15 tricky questions there. 1 or 2 testing ones in the first round, but never mind. I'm sure most people would now do remember. Your first letters of all your answers should spell out Sunday, the 18th even, of April. Sunday, the 18th of April. I keep thinking it's Wednesday, the 14th, but never mind. Now, do remember there's so many of you taking part tonight, 72, 73, which is great. Do feel free to hit the subscribe button if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which gives you notification of all the quizzes. And, of course, there's a like button. Very easy to do. Just hit the like button. The more likes I get, the better. So do feel free to just hit that like button if you're enjoying the quiz. Of course, you might not be enjoying it so far, but we'll see how we've fared after the first round. Right then, everybody. I think we've probably had enough time to get at least some answers down. So let us see how we have fared after round 1. So we started off the letter S, of course, that little yellow bear with black ears and nose who performed magic tricks was Sooty. Number 2, that was a bit tricky. The easternmost terminus on the London Underground's district line is a place called Upminster. Upminster. Could have got that confused with Uxbridge, of course, but Uxminster was the answer. Upminster even was the answer. Number 3, the electronics company Philips was founded in the Netherlands. Number 4, of course, was Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Number 5, Amnesty International I wanted. Number 6, that third most traded currency. You could have put the yuan, but it wasn't. It's the yen. Well done if you got the yen. Number 7, the boundary, apparently, between Earth's atmosphere and outer space is exactly 100 kilometres. 100 kilometres. I did say it was a round number, so you could have had a guess of that. Number 8 was 86, of course. 86 is an exact measurement of 30 degrees centigrade in degrees Fahrenheit. Number 9 was tortoises, of course. At the beginning and the end of the show, One Foot in the Grave, it was tortoises that were the creatures. Number 9, I was after, number 10, sorry. That film I wanted, where the experiment went horribly wrong, was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Number 11 was Albania. Number 12, I was after the company Procter & Gamble, an American healthcare company. Number 13, of course, I gave you too much there. One of Harry's best friends, starting with the letter R. It was Ron Bilious Weasley. We all know that one now. Number 14, of course, it was Isambard Kingdom Brunel, a very famous engineer. And finally, number 15, of course, the Schengen area. It was named after a village in Luxembourg, which I didn't know at the time of the quiz when it was asked, but I do now. So Luxembourg is what I was after. So well done if you got that. You could have had a guess because it started with the letter N. So then let's see how we've all got on, because there were 15 possible points there, and with the exception of the outer space question, which I kind of half tried to give you, but never mind. We have Pinky and Perky on 14 points. Squeaky Pop on 13. We've got Val and the Quizzy Rascals on 14. Jed and Tracy are on 13. We've got Clive and Janet the Teasers. They've started off with a full house on 15 points. Sarah, Rory, Sarah, Russ, Joe and James, they're on 13 points. Georgie and Rory and the Yorkies are on 9 points. We've got David and Anderson on 13. We've got the Rugby Roast, got 15 points. Well played them. Carol Green are on 14. We've got the Wheat Links with 15 with Guess on, well, yes. Trish Ridgeway and Anthony and Paul on 14 points. The Giffords, 15 points. That's some great scoring. Chris and Mary from St Ives, they're on 13 points. The Famous Five are on 14. We've got PRS on 15. Ross Morley's on 13. Jill and Steve Pugh, they started off with a 15. Well, very well done, Toft. We got 2 teams with 15 from both from Toft. Keith Mitchell on 12. We've got Michelle, Charlie and James on 13 points. Home Alone 6 on 13 points. We've got Harry and his bottle of Shiraz, or is that 13 bottles of Shiraz? They're on 13. Mike Yates is on 14 points. Well played, Mike. Pick a Mix on 14. Faye's on 11 with the Booby Prize Girls. Mick and Bev Roberts are on 13. Penny Graham's on 11. Debbie McCarthy's on 13. We've got Lisa, Team UK, USA on 13. Don Quixote doing very well. 15 points right there. It does appear we've got a number of teams on 15 points after round number 1. So let's see how we fare with round number 2. Now, round number 2 is a history round. Nothing too tricky here. Pretty straightforward, tricky, so I'm expecting some pretty straightforward trivia. So I'm expecting some good scores in the history round. Let's see how you get on with this lot. So question number 1, fought in the early 19th century. The Mexican War of Independence resulted in Mexico's independence from which country? And perhaps switch that off because I can hear it too much. So question 1 again, that's better. Fought in the early 19th century, the Mexican War of Independence resulted in Mexico's independence from which country? I shouldn't have repeated the word independence twice there, should I? Never mind. Question number 2. Which name is commonly used to refer to the record known as the Great Survey of much of England and parts of Wales that was completed in 1086 by order of William the Conqueror? So which name is commonly used to refer to the record known as the Great Survey of much of England and parts of Wales that was completed in 1086 by order of William the Conqueror? Question number 3, just need a number here. Established in 1963 to investigate the assassination of J.F. Kennedy, the Warren Commission concluded that how many bullets struck the president? So established in 1963 to investigate the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the Warren Commission concluded that how many bullets struck the president? Question number 4, there was a question about this last week, but in a different manner. In the year 1206, who founded the Mongol Empire, which became the largest contiguous empire in history after his death? So in the year 1206, who founded the Mongol Empire, which became the largest contiguous empire in history after his death? I don't suppose he went out his way in 1206 to say I'm going to found an empire, but maybe he did. Question number 5, taken from a quote in the William Shakespeare play Richard III. What phrase is often used to refer to a period in the United Kingdom in late 1978 and early 1979 that was characterised by a number of private and public sector strikes? So question 5 again, taken from a quote in the William Shakespeare play Richard III. What phrase is often used to refer to a period in the United Kingdom in late 1978 and early 1979 that was characterised by a number of private and public sector strikes? Come on, Roy, I haven't heard any more jokes recently. There's got to be a few that we can bandy about. I know we haven't got Ian Miller to bounce them off tonight. He's over in Wales somewhere. Question number 6, dead easy this one, I'm sure. Who was Lord Mayor of London on 4 separate one-year terms in 1397, 1398, 1406 and 1419? Robin's just said, I went to a cafe during the week. They were advertising breakfast at any time, so I ordered French toast during the Renaissance. Oh dear, that's very funny. Right then, question number 7. This is a tricky one. You might be able to remember this. With the others being the Nina and the Pinta, what was the name of the largest of the 3 ships used by Christopher Columbus on his first voyage across the Atlantic Ocean? Good quizzes question, that one. So with the others being the Nina and the Pinta, what was the name of the largest and the 3 ships used by Christopher Columbus on his first voyage across the Atlantic Ocean? Question number 8. Samuel Johnson is best remembered for spending 9 years writing what type of book in the mid-18th century? So question 8 again. Samuel Johnson is best remembered for spending 9 years writing what type of book in the mid-18th century? Only for Baldric, of course, to burn it on the fire by mistake. You must remember that witty episode, but never mind. So Samuel Johnson is best remembered for spending 9 years writing what type of book in the mid-18th century? Question number 9. An anti-nuclear organisation called the Don't Make a Wave Committee that was founded in Vancouver in 1969 soon evolved into which global environmental organisation? So question 9 again. An anti-nuclear organisation called the Don't Make a Wave Committee that was founded in Vancouver in 1969 soon evolved into which global environmental organisation? And finally, which country has been ruled by kings who are known by historians as Eric the Victorious, Eric the Saint, and Eric the Lisp and Lame? I had to look that last one up just to make sure they weren't pulling the leg. Oh, pulling my leg, sorry. So which country has been ruled by kings who are known by historians as Eric the Victorious, Eric the Saint, and Eric the Lisp and Lame? Liz, can you get me a tissue, treasure? Thanks. Cheers. I've got to blow my nose. Excuse me. What's Chris said? We went to a cafe today and we're told we only had a few minutes before they closed. So we said, we'll have a crocodile sandwich and make it snappy. The best ones are the old ones, Chris. That's a good one by any standards. Oh, yes. I'll have a crocodile burger. Right then, 10 generalised questions on history. I hope you didn't find them too hard. And if you didn't know the answers to one or two of those, let's hope you've learnt something, which you can take into your next quiz with you. Right then, everybody, I will do some marking because I don't think we need an awful lot of time. Hopefully you've conferred with the rest of your team and you've all argued about which ones are right and wrong. And somebody's at least put the right answer down. Let's hope so. Here we go then. Question number 1, fought in the early 19th century, the Mexican War of Independence was to gain independence from which country? That was Spain, of course. Roy's just posted, hey, Nick, have you heard about the person that passed out in one of the pods on the London Eye? Paramedics are saying she is slowly coming round. That is a classic. Well done, Roy. I like that. Now, that is a good joke. I don't know where you got that one from. Question number 2, of course, was the Doomsday Book. That's how we know the Great Survey is also known as the Doomsday Book. Number 3, apparently, according to the Warren Commission, they concluded that 2 bullets had struck JF Kennedy. So 2 bullets was what I was after. Number 4, of course, that founder of the Mongol Empire was Genghis Khan. Number 5, taken from a quote in William Shakespeare's play, Richard III, the phrase that I was after, which, of course, was strikes and public sector strikes. I remember all the lights going out. At that time, it was called the Winter of Discontent. The Winter of Discontent. Number 6, of course, was Dick Whittington, Richard Whittington, if you want it correctly. Number 7, the ship I was after was called the Santa Maria. The Santa Maria, I'm sure that most of you may have heard of it, but whether you could have dug it out your brain box, I don't know. Number 8, of course, Samuel Johnson wrote a dictionary, which Baldric threw on the fire. Number 9, the anti-nuclear organisation called Don't Make a Wave Committee turned into Greenpeace eventually and became one of the world's biggest environmental organisations. And finally, number 10, the country has been ruled by the kings known as Eric the Victorious, Eric the Saint, and Eric the Lisp and Lame was Sweden. So well done if you got Sweden. Right. That was a good joke, wasn't it, Martin? He's saying ha-ha to that one. What's that? Faye's just saying, generally had an alligator burger one time and it tasted like chicken. And the texture was of a pork chop. Excellent. Right, then we've got some scores coming in. Ian Bates is saying Pinky and Perky on a fantastic 24 points. PRS have moved on to 25. David and Anderson have moved on to 23 points. Jed and Tracy on 22. We've got the Rugby Roach Club yet to drop a point on 25 points. Georgie and Lambert, that's Georgie and Rory on 16 points. We've got the Wheat Links have moved on to 24 points, as have Val Bounds and the Quizzy Rascals also on 24 points. Ross Morley's moved on to 23. Mick and Bever on 23 points. We've got Carol, she's on 23 points. The Teasers, Clive and Janet, they're on a full house at the moment, 25 points. Famous Five, that's John and Henry, they've moved on to 22 points. Graham and Jane Gifford, they've moved on to 23 with Keith Mitchell on 22. Sarah Russ, James and Joe, they're on 21 points with Michelle Gibbons on 22 points. We've got Don Quixote, they're doing very well as well, 24 points for Don Quixote. Chris and Mary and St Ives, they're on 19. The Ridgeways, they're doing remarkably well on 24 points as well. Penny Graham's moved on to 18. We've got Home Alone 6 on 21. Jill and Steve Pugh, 24 points. That's some good going. Mike Yates is on 22 with Debbie McCarthy on 21. Ian with his bottle of Shiraz, they've moved on 9 points to a maximum of to a total of 22 points. Pick a Mix on 23. Faye is on the Baby Prize Girls are on 16 points. Now we've got Split the Difference on 23 points. Team UK USA on 2. Oh no, she's corrected that. She's saying sorry, 22. Well done, Team UK USA. Squeaky Pop are on 20. Now then, round number 3 is a connections round. These are 2 sets of 4 questions on general knowledge, plus a question asking for a connection between the answers in each set. So there are 2 connections to work out in this round, not the normal 9 plus 1. These are 2 sets of 4 plus 2. So here we go then. Oh dear, my wife's sneezing. She's got the sneezes. I hope you can't hear the sneezes, but never mind. Right, here we go then. Question number 1. With 2.1 million active military personnel, which country has the world's largest army? So question number 1 again. With 2.1 million active military personnel, which country has the world's largest army? Come on, Carol, you're going to do well with this one. I hate the connection round. Squeaky Paws just put bless you. Still sneezing. Trying to keep the sneezes quiet at the moment. Question number 2. Opened by King Gustav V, which European city hosted the 1912 Summer Olympics? Bit of a giveaway, I suppose, with Gustav, but never mind. So opened by King Gustav V, which European city hosted the 1912 Summer Olympics? Now, do remember we're looking for a connection between these answers. Question number 3 is a music question. What word is repeated to give the title of Status Quo's only UK #1 hit single in 1974? Good single by any standards that was. I remember it well. So what word is repeated to give the title of Status Quo's only UK #1 hit single in 1974? Question number 4. What name is commonly used to refer to the war that took place from August 1990 to February 1991 following Iraq's invasion of Kuwait? So question 4 again. What name is commonly used to refer to the war that took place from August 1990 to February 1991 following Iraq's invasion of Kuwait? And finally, of course, what is the connection between the previous 4 answers? So what is the connection between the previous 4 answers? Of course, if you can get the connection, that will help you work out those that you may not have got. Well, it appears the hobgoblin has evaporated. So we might have to test the The Sharps. Now, this used to be a good brewery when it was brewed by Bill Sharp at the Rock Brewery in Cornwall. It was actually a decent beer, but of course, since it's been bought by Green King, the flavour and taste has changed enormously. But we'll test it and see what it's like. Right then, everybody, is it time to move on? Have you all got a connection there? Yeah. Right, 4 more questions, which we need a connection for as well. So question number 6, in Greek mythology, who fell in love with Narcissus but was unable to tell him her feelings and was forced to watch as he fell in love with himself? Oh, dear. So in Greek mythology, who fell in love with Narcissus but was unable to tell him her feelings and was forced to watch as he fell in love with himself? Question number 7. What name is given to a whole number that is greater than 1 and is only divisible by 1 and itself? I'm sure we've had plenty of those in the quiz before now. I know Ian Sharrett's always been telling me off about those, not knowing them. So what name is given to a whole number that is greater than 1 and is only divisible by 1 and itself? Question number 8. This is an interesting one. What word meaning to ignite or to arouse can also be used as a collective noun to refer to a group of kittens? So what word meaning to ignite or to arouse can also be used as a collective noun to refer to a group of kittens? There's a tricky one for you. For all you that have had kittens recently, you should know this one, of course. Question number 9. There's another bit of Greek mythology. I like this. In Greek mythology, what did Prometheus steal from the gods and give to humans? For his sins, Zeus bound him with chains and set an eagle to eat his liver every day. Oof. Sounds a bit grim, doesn't it? So in Greek mythology, what did Prometheus steal from the gods and give to humans? For his sins, Zeus bound him with chains and sent an eagle to eat his liver every day. And there was a good ending to that story because eventually he was freed by, I think it was Heracles, but I'm not quite sure. Somebody like that. And finally, what is the connection between the previous 4 answers? It's a one-word connection. I won't give you any more help than that, but it's a one-word connection. In fact, the connection in part 1 of that is also a one-word connection. So both of those have got a one-word connection. Right, I'll just give you a minute to work that out while I test this Doombar bitter to see what it's like. A refreshing taste of Watneys. Michelle's put, the eagle was also being punished because he didn't like liver unless it came with onions. See ya. I'd be interested to know who did free him now that I've tried to make out that I know. Who did free Prometheus in the end? Come on, somebody will know. Somebody cut his chains and he managed to, he didn't escape. I think Zeus let him go in the end. Right then, everybody. rather than me just staring at my phone and blank screen from everybody else, let's see how we've fared after that round. Got some testing questions there. And do remember, question number 5 and question number 10 is asking for a connection between the previous 4 in each round. Charlie. Okay, then, everybody, let's do some marking. See how you've all fared. See whether we've still got some full Heracles. I think it was Heracles. Yeah, well done, Jen. That's what I thought. A friend of mine tells me that he hasn't spoken to his wife for 5 years. He doesn't like to interrupt her. Oh, dear. I like that, Robbie. I'm staying quiet about that, yeah. Question. Heracles. Yes, well done. I thought it was. There we go, then. Number 1, with 2.1 million active military personnel, of course, the largest army in the world is China. China, that was what I was after. Number 2, the European city I was after that hosted the 1912 Summer Olympics was Stockholm. Number 3, of course, the word that's repeated to give the title of Status Quo's only UK number 1 hit single is down, 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 get on, down, down, down. You get the idea. Number 4, of course, was better known as the Gulf War. And the connection, of course, is syndromes. We've got China syndrome, Stockholm syndrome, Down syndrome, and Gulf War syndrome. So the word syndrome connected the previous 4 answers. Well done if you got that. I hope you got it, Carol. We'll see. Right, question number 6. This was a tricky one. In Greek mythology, who fell in love with Narcissus but was unable to tell him of her feelings and was forced to watch as he fell in love with himself? That was Echo. Echo. Number 7, of course, is a prime number. Number 8, the collective noun, which refers to a group of kittens, is kindle, a kindle of kittens. Number 9, in Greek mythology, what did Prometheus steal from the gods? That was fire. And, of course, what is the connection between the previous 4 answers? Amazon products. You've got Amazon Echo, Amazon Prime, Amazon Kindle, and Amazon Fire. So well done if you got Amazon. What's that, Heracles? Good old Les Dawson. I used to love Les Dawson. Ross is saying that was super hard. They get easier after you've done a few, I suppose, Ross. It's not quite so easy to start with those. Right then, we've got Pink and Perky. They're on 31 points. We've got the Weedlings on 34 points. The Teasers, they have still to drop a point. 35 point. Well played, Clive and Janet. Quizzy Rascals have moved on to 34. We've got Jen and Tracy on 31 points. Sarah, Russ, James and Joan, they're on a fantastic 27 points. PRS have moved on to 35 points. Well played, PRS. The Yorkies. They just disappeared off my screen. They're on 26 points for the Yorkies. We've got Home Alone 6 on 30. Squeaky Bob have moved on to 28. We've got Jane and Graham Gifford on 33 points. The Rugby Rotary Club, Dave, moved on to 35 points. Well played them. Mike Yates is on 31 points. We've got Mick Roberts on 33. David and Anderson are on 31. Michelle, Charlie and James are on 32 points. Chris and Mary from St Ives, they're on 27 points. We've got Trish, Paul and Anthony on 34 points. That's a cracking score. Ross Morley said that was super hard that round, but never mind, Ross. 27 points. We've got to split the difference. They've moved on to 32. The Booby Price girls have moved on to 21 points. We've got Don Quixote. They're doing very well on 33 points, with Carol Green not far behind on 32 points. So then, Carol, did you get the connection tonight? I don't know. John O'Rourke, the famous 5, they've also moved on to 32 points, with Penny Graham on 23 points. Keith Mitchell's moved on to 30. We've got Pick and Mix on 32. Debbie McCarthy's moved on to 30, and we've got Ian in his bottle of Shiraz. He's added his Shiraz in this time. They're on 29 points. Team UK, USA on 28. That was tough. It was tough for some people. Yes, that's for sure. But never mind. Clive and Janet with the Teasers on only us about 7. What's that? Well, it's not only us, about 7 of us. I think that's what it's saying. Not quite sure, but never mind. Jill's saying, sorry, Nick, we have to drop out this week. See you next week, Steve and Jill. Well, cheers, Steve. Jill, you're doing very well as well. So you'll have to leave it to the rest of the tough teams to keep you going. Clive and Janet and Teasers, about 7 of us tonight. Oh, I see. That's fair enough. Well, fair play to you. Bigger the team, though, you can make questions a bit awkward or answers a bit awkward because you tend to argue with each other. But never mind. As my teammates will know. It's normally me that's arguing with them. Oh dear, oh dear. Got Amazon, but not syndrome. Never mind, that's a good start, you see. We're getting the right way. Right then, round number 4 is chain letters. We've got 10 questions on general knowledge, where the last 1, 2, or 3 letters of each correct answer are the first 1, 2, or 3 letters of the next answer. You get the idea? So it's the same as a trivia trail, but you use more than one letter. Not in all of them, though. So yeah. Right then, here we go. Then question number 1. Listen carefully. What drink was invented in 1893 by Caleb Branham and was originally called Brad's Drink before it was renamed when advertised as being able to relieve indigestion. So what drink was invented in 1893 by Caleb Branham and was originally called Brad's Drink before it was renamed when advertised as being able to relieve indigestion? If you think hard about indigestion, that might help you somewhat. That's a one-word answer I'm after. Right, take the last 1, the last 2, or the last 3 letters of that answer, and it's the first letter, the first 2, or the first 3 of this one. Which character was voiced by Matthew Broderick in the 1994 Disney film, The Lion King, and by Donald Glover in the 2019 remake? So question number 2 again, which character was voiced by Matthew Broderick in the 1994 Disney film, The Lion King, and by Donald Glover in the 2019 remake? Right, take the last letter of that character's name, or the last 2 or the last 3, and it's the first letter, the first 2 or 3 of this one. This is an interesting fact, one I didn't know, but I do now. Located 28 metres below sea level, which city is the lowest lying national capital city in the world? So question number 3 again, located 28 metres below sea level, which city is the lowest lying national capital city in the world? Hope it doesn't flood there. Dear. Question number 4, we had this before, so I hope you've remembered it. Translated as pleasant, savoury taste, what Japanese loanword goes with sweetness, sourness, saltiness, and bitterness to give the name of one of the 5 basic tastes? So translated as pleasant, savoury taste, what Japanese loanword goes with sweetness, sourness, saltiness, and bitterness to give the name of one of the 5 basic tastes? Right, take the last letter of that answer, or the last 2 or 3, and it's the first 1, 2, or 3 of this answer. And this is a 2-word answer. I'm after person's name, obviously Christian and surname. Going on to become a BAFTA award-winning actress, who claims to have been the first person to say the F word on British television after doing this during an appearance on University Challenge in 1963. So question 5 again, going on to become a BAFTA award-winning actress, who claims to have been the first person to say the F word on British TV after doing this during an appearance on University Challenge in 1963. I expect it was bleeped out at the time, no doubt. She's a bit of a laugh, this woman. Now then, to help you with her surname, you should be able to get question number 6. And do remember the first letter, the first 2 or first 3 are obviously the last letters of her, or last letter, or last 2 or 3 of her surname. So here we go. Question number 6, first appearing on the 1965 album Help, but only released as a single in the UK in 1976. Which Beatles song was voted the best song of the 20th century in a 1999 BBC Radio 2 poll of music experts and listeners? Only seems like the other day, this as well. So first appearing on a 1965 album, Help, but only released as a single in the UK in 1976, which Beatles song was voted the best song of the 20th century in a 1999 BBC Radio 2 poll of music experts and listeners? So just the name of that song. Right, take the last letter, the last two or the last three of that one, and it's the first two or the first three of this one. Question number 7, which song from the musical Carousel, often sung at football games, has topped the UK singles charts in 1963, 1985 and 2020? So which song from the musical Carousel, which is often sung at football games, has topped the UK singles charts in 1963, 1985 and 2020? That is a 4-word answer. That should help you a bit. Roy's just put, hey Nick, I really wanted to read a book called The History of Sellotape, but I couldn't find the start. Never mind. Stick with it, Roy. You'll find it. Dear God. I'm sure you'll have it taped soon. Oh dear. Right, take the last letter, the last two or the last three of that answer, and it's the first two or the first three of this one. Question number 8, named by the British after the largest of the Channel Islands, which US state is the 4th smallest by area, but the 11th most populated, making it the most densely populated state in the country? So question 8 again, named by the British after the largest of the Channel Islands, which US state is the 4th smallest by area, but the 11th most populated, making it the most densely populated state in the country? That's an interesting fact by any standards, isn't it? Fancy being named by the British. The Americans got a lot to thank us for, you know. Right, then take the last letter of that answer, or the last two or the last three. It's the first two or the first three of this answer. Question number 9, the superior rectus, the inferior rectus, the medial rectus and the lateral rectus are a group of muscles which are found in what part of the human body? That is a plural, by the way. So the superior rectus, the inferior rectus, the medial rectus and the lateral rectus are a group of muscles which are found in which part of the human body? And the answer to that is a plural. Now then, take the last letter, last two or last three of that answer. It's the first two or three of this one. Question number 10, with a name derived from French, what is traditionally a piece of boneless meat that has been thinned out by using a mallet or a rolling pin or beaten with the handle of a knife before cooking? Robin's put, I made instant coffee in the microwave, almost went back in time. Oh dear. Very clever. So question number 10 again, with a name derived from French, what is traditionally a piece of boneless meat that has been thinned out using a mallet or a rolling pin or beaten with the handle of a knife before cooking? And you will find that the last letter, the last two or the last three of that answer, which is question number 2, answer number 10, takes you all the way back to number 1, of course, to that drink which I was after. So you should now be looking at all your answers and they should all link together all the way down, first, last, last, first. You get the idea. Number 10, the end of number 10, beginning of number 1. All right? Good. Well, I'm glad you've all got that out of the way then. 1 or 2 of those were a bit tricky, but I hope you've all managed to find your way down to the bottom. How have you done, Ange? All right? Right then, everybody, I don't think we need too much thinking about that. Make sure you've got your answers down on a bit of paper and send them to Points of View, BBC Television. No, sorry. Right, get them down and we will do some marking just now. So the drink was invented by the guy that called it Brad's drink. It was, of course, Pepsi, of course, Pepsi. Of course, you could get that from dyspepsia, which was another name to relieve indigestion. Pepsi, it was called. That gave you the SI for Simba in The Lion King. Simba, of course, it was voiced by Matthew Roderick. That gave you the BA for that capital city of Baku, which is the capital of Azerbaijan, which lives actually on the, I think it's the Caspian. So 28 meters below sea level. I hope it's got some big defenses there. Unless the Caspian's below sea level, which it might be, of course. Number 4, translated as pleasant, savoury taste. I was after that fifth basic taste, which is called umami. That gave you the MI for Miriam Margolyes. Miriam Margolyes. Apparently, she claims to be the first person. Margolyes, sorry. Miriam Margolyes. What am I saying? Margolyes. Margolyes? I always used to call it Margolyes. Is it? Right, okay. We're arguing with each other. Right. Apparently, she was the first person to say the F word on British television. Well, she claims to have done. In appearing on the University Challenge, she was probably trying to answer one of my questions or something. Never mind. I could understand why she was coming out with the F word. Right. You take the last 3 letters of her name, and it's the first 3 letters of yesterday, of course. That what was it? The Beatles song that was voted the best song of the 20th century, Yesterday. That gave you the Y, of course, for You'll Never Walk Alone. That song from the musical Carousel. That gave you the NE for that state in the US state, the 4th smallest by area. That was New Jersey. That in turn gave you the EY for the eyes, of course. The super rectus, the inferior rectus, the medial rectus, and the lateral rectus are muscles of the eye, or the eyes. And in turn gave you an escallop of beef or whatever else, which of course took you all the way back, P and E, all the way back to Pepsi. So well done if you got that. Right then. Let's see how we've done after that round. Yeah, you see, Squeaky Bob, I say Margolyes too. You are pronouncing it correctly. Margolyes. Yeah, I thought I was. Never mind. Let's not argue about how we're done with that one. Right then, Val Barnes, Squizzy Rascals, 44 points. We got Sarah Ross James Joe on 37 points. I hope the head's all right, Sarah, and you're doing well. You seem to be doing all right. The Giffords have moved on to a fantastic 42 points. That's Graham and Jane. Squeaky Bob moving on to 38. Carol Green's moved on to 42. The Wheat Links are on 42 points. Home Alone 6 have moved on to 40. Ross is going, oh no, we're only on 32 points. Never mind, Ross. It's the taking part that counts. You know, that's the important bit. John and the gang, they're on Famous Five, on 41 points, with Jed and Tracy on 40 points. Don Quixote, they've moved on to a very respectable 43 points. The Rugby Rotary Club, however, I think they've yet to drop a point. 45 points. So well played them. Chris and Mary and St Ives, they're on 33 points. We've got Clive and Janet and the Teasers also on 45 points. Full points for 2 teams. Pigmex on 40. Pennygrams on 31. We've got Georgie and Rory on 34 points. PRS have moved on to 45 as well. That's 3 teams top scoring. Ian Bates with Pinky and Perky, he's saying they're on 40 points. So well played them. David and Anderson are also on 40 points with split difference on 41. Ian Sharrett, his bottle of Shiraz, they're on 37 points. Michelle, Charlie and James, they've moved on to 42 points, doing very well tonight. Faye's also on 28 points. So well played, Faye. What's that? We've both had our COVID jabs now. PRS saying that we've both had our COVID jabs. Excellent. Keith, well, Lydia hasn't had hers yet, so I think everybody else has had theirs by now. I don't suppose, don't know. Who hasn't had theirs? I bet the Yorkies haven't had theirs yet. I bet Rory and Georgia haven't had yours yet. As I assume most people that do the quiz have had their vaccine. Those that haven't had their vaccine, like Lydia and whatever, you might like to post which ones that haven't had their vaccines. Keith Mitchell's on 39. We've got Debbie McCarthy on 37. Trish Ridgeway's had 44 or was the tone of surprise when we get a decent score? Excellent. Well, you're doing very well at the moment, Paul and Trish. And Anthony, we've got Lisa Lasky, Team UK, USA. They're on 36 with Mick Roberts on 37. And their time with Mike Yates also on 37 points. Debbie's saying, I haven't had mine yet. Must be a youngster, Debbie, just like Lydia. Far too young for all these things, aren't you? Right then, everybody, round number 5. Anthony Ridgeway. I haven't too youthful, says Anthony. Well, I'm surprised they give you one anyway. I thought you had to go back to the United States to get a jab. Surely not. I haven't had mine either, said Ian. Well, you see, there's a few people out haven't yet. We need to get you lot vaccinated because you're the lot that are all going to go down the pub soon. What's that? 14th of May. What's that for? Lydia. Lydia's down for the 14th of May, apparently. By the app on the phone, you know. Ross is saying, me neither. Vicky's had both. Oh, right. Well, I've only had one so far. And I'm looking forward to my second one, I'm sure. But never mind. Won't be too long, I'm sure. Right then, round number 5. Round number 5 is a music round. This might sort you all out. Music round. We all like a bit of music. So let's see how we fare. My 2 daughters, aged 49 and 47, are having theirs this week. Brilliant. Well, the more we get vaccinated, the better. That's what I say. Right then, it seems to be working, thankfully. Right then, round number 5, music round. Here we go. Question number 1. A 2018 tour called Homeward Bound, the Farewell Tour, was the final concert tour of which famous singer? There's a big clue in that. I'm sure you'll all get that one. So a 2018 tour called Homeward Bound, the Farewell Tour, was the final concert tour of which famous singer? Do use the clue that's in there. I'm sure you can all figure that one out. Question number 2. T-Swizzle is a sobriquet that many fans use to refer to which American singer-songwriter? Chris Martin of Coldplay. Yes, you can put that one down, Robin. I'm sure you're right with that one. So question 2 again. T-Swizzle is a sobriquet that many fans use to refer to which American singer-songwriter? Chris Martin of Coldplay. Yes. Well, actually, I was going to sing a bit of Coldplay, wasn't I? What can I sing? Oh, no. Oh, Christ. She's playing Coldplay again for you, Robin. Just thought you'd like that one. Cut. Cut. Question number 3. Of the 88 keys on a standard grand piano, how many are black? How many of you got a piano in the front room there next to you? So of the 88 keys on a standard grand piano, how many are black? This is a stupid quiz question, that one, isn't it? I mean, who really needs to know that? You know, it's kind of a stupid question, but there you go. I should have left that till the last round, really, shouldn't I? Stupid question round. Question number 4. I remember this video very well, but one or two of you won't. The music video for which Queen single sees the members of the band dressed as women in a suburban house, pushing around hoovers and things, as I recall. Freddie Mercury with his duster and his little dusting stick, I think it was. So the music video for which Queen single sees the members of the band dressed as women in a suburban house. Robin said, who are they? Different colours? I've never noticed. Yeah. Question number 5 is an album I've got, so I'm sure you'll all get this one straight away. One of the most recognised album covers of all time, which Pink Floyd classic spent 741 weeks in the charts from 1973 to 1988. So question 5 again. One of the most recognised album covers of all time, which Pink Floyd classic spent 741 weeks in the charts from 1973 to 1988. Still a great album by any standards. And I should know. Nearly as good as Coldplay, of course. Question number 6. What name is given to the instruments made of small, concave pieces of wood, plastic or ivory, which are often used in Spanish dancing? Sterile clinical twaddle. So question 6 again. What name is given to the instruments made of small, concave pieces of wood, plastic or ivory, which are often used in Spanish dancing? Presumably they can be made of just about anything, I suppose, if they put all that lot down. Question number 7. Which singer who duetted with Elton John on a 1976 UK #1 hit single was the first female singer from the United Kingdom to sign with Motown's Tamla Records? That's an interesting fact. So which singer who duetted with Elton John on a 1976 UK #1 hit single was the first female singer from the United Kingdom to sign with Motown's Tamla Records? Question number 3, 8 even. I was trying to reword this a bit, but Lydia didn't think it read very well. No, I don't think it reads very well, but never mind. It's pretty straightforward. How many beats are there in a bar in a traditional waltz? So question number 8 again. How many beats are there in a bar in a traditional waltz? I mean, all you musicians should know that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, trying to put you off. Question number 9. This is one I didn't know, but I suppose it's obvious when you listen to it. I had to put in a bit of extra information for you so you could all get this one. Starring Kevin Costner, the soundtrack for what film is the best-selling movie soundtrack of all time? So question 9 again, starring Kevin Costner, the soundtrack for what film is the best-selling movie soundtrack of all time? Yeah, I need the film. Well, I'm still testing this Doom bar. Certainly, and finally, number 10 in this pretty straightforward music round. Oh, What a Beautiful Morning is the opening song in what 1943 Rodgers and Hammerstein musical? So question 10 again. Oh, What a Beautiful Morning is the opening song in what 1943 Rodgers and Hammerstein musical? Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Sorry. What's Freud put? It's Wetherspoons. There's usually quite a lot of deadbeats. So, yeah. Right then, everybody. 10 musical questions. I hope most of you managed to work all those out. I think 2 testing, so I'm expecting some teams to still have a perfect score after this round, but we'll see. Not many of you left. Right then, we've got answers down to everything. Those that are still arguing, make sure somebody, whoever's writing the answers down, get something down on paper so you know which one you've put down. Right, here we go then, the music round. A 2018 tour called Homeward Bound, the Farewell Tour, was the final concert tour of which famous singer? That, of course, was Paul Simon. Paul Simon. Number 2, T. Swizzle Sorboquin. She's also known as Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Number 3, of the 88 keys on a standard grand piano, how many are black? Well, that's 36. 36, well, 54, of course. No, it's not. 52. 50. The others are the other colour. So it's 36 I wanted. Number 4, the music video to which Queen single sees the members of the band dressed as women in a suburban house? That's I Want to Break Free. I want to break free. What's that? Ian's put, my brother has 30 seconds of one of his own songs in the Kevin Costner film, Upside of Anger. Excellent. Wow, there's a good fact. Well done, Ian. Or Ian's brother. Question number 5, of course, was Dark Side of the Moon, that classic Pink Floyd album, recognised by the cover. Number 6, I was after castanets, those concave pieces of wood that are made of wood, plastic or ivory or any other material you can think of, really. Number 7, of course, was Kiki D. Well done if you've got Kiki D. Don't Go Breaking My Heart. That was the one that duetted, went to number 1 in 1976. Number 8, how many beats are there in the bar traditional waltz? There are 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Number 9, Kevin Costner, of course, the soundtrack to The Bodyguard. The Bodyguard, very famous for Whitney Houston, of course. And finally, number 10, Oh, What a Beautiful Morning, which I sang to you. My usual mellifluous style was Oklahoma. So well done if you got that. Oklahoma, I'm sure you did. Robin's foot, stop singing. Right, okay, Robin, I'll stop singing. What's that? Oh, yes, that's the point. It was anybody's birthday. Is it anybody's birthday this week? So we can have a little bit more singing for free. Right, the Quizzy Rascals have moved on to 54 points still. Very, very good score, that is, Val. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals. Pinky and Perky on 48. Kevin Keenan and the Rugby Rotary Club, 55 points, yet to drop a point. Squeaky Bob, 47. Mick Robertson Bever on 46 points. We've got David Anderson on 47. PRS doing very well on 54 points. The famous 5 have moved on to 50. We've got Carol Green on 50. Trish and Paul Ridgeway and Anthony on 53 points. We've got the Giffords on 51 points. Weak Links back on form, 48 points. Jed and Tracy are also on 48 points with Chris and Mary from St Ives on 40 points. We've got Sarah, Russ, James and Joe on 45 points. Michelle, Charlie and James are on 49 points. Pick and Mix are on 49 points. We've got Clive and Janet, the Teasers. They've moved on to 55 points. So it looks like it's going to be a hot round tonight then. Clive and Janet, the Teasers are 7 in the team, but that doesn't make it any easier for anybody. Ross Morley has moved on to 41 points. Well done, Ross. Mike Yates, 45 points. We've got Georgie Lambert and the Yorkies. They've moved on to 42. Ian saying they've added 10 to their score in that round with 47 points. Keith Mitchell's also on 46 points, as is Team UK USA also on 46 points. Ian Anthony James and Don Quixote still in with a shout at the title tonight on 53 points. Faye's on 37, so well played the Booby Prize girls. We've got Debbie McCarthy, 46, split the difference also in the 50s with 51 points. Home Alone 6, not far behind on 48 points. Penny Graham's moved on to 36. Never seen it. What's the PRS? Never seen it, but people are saying that Line of Duty is good, worth watching. Well, PRS, yes. Well, I've watched the whole series at least 3 times. Now, I haven't watched the last series because I hate watching stuff by the week. I like watching it all in one go because it makes it far more. It's probably the best action police drama the UK has ever produced. So I would definitely watch it. Start at series 1, though, because the story evolves over all the series. And unless you've seen the previous series, you'll get lost completely. So you've got to start at series number 1 and see how you go. Clive and Janet, the Teasers. Gareth had a birthday on Tuesday. Here we go then, Gareth. Right, it looks like there's a birthday wishes to Gareth. I will have to sing that, of course. Roy Joy about Guy Funkel covered up his poorly laid concrete kitchen floor with white goods. It was a fridge over rubbled mortar. A fridge over rubbled mortar. That's a classic. Well done, Roy. I like that one. Line of Duty is brilliant. We're starting at Series 1. Yes, you've got to start at Series 1 because you won't get to know all the characters unless you do, and you miss a lot if you haven't seen the previous series. So I would always suggest, certainly with Line of Duty. Right then, I need a happy birthday, Ange. So we're going to sing happy birthday to Gareth. Is it Gareth? Yes. Give me a second, Gareth. I'm just going to get the music over in a minute. And in fact, I might just go and rob the wife's phone if she can get it going for me. Before we go into the last... Oh, here we go. Oh, that'll do. Like up a bit. Is it? Now then, you should be able to hear that. It's being played over my big speakers. Here we go then. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gareth, for last Tuesday. Happy birthday to you. That's it, done, dusted. Right, wait. Oh, it's still playing. Right, we can switch that off before we go on to the next one. Now, I expect you loved that singing. So, happy birthday, Gareth, for last week. I won't ask you how old you were because clearly you can't be as old as me. So, let's not worry about that. Right then, round number 6, general trivia. I've got the feeling you might be able to work all these out. So we might have 2 teams ending the quiz without dropping a point this week, but we will see. We will see. So here we go. Yeah, it's on iPlayer at the moment, PRS, and it's also on BritBox. If you've got BritBox or iPlayer, you can get the whole series. Right, here we go then. Question number 1 is an anagram. You need to rearrange the letters of the words her hotel truck. Her hotel truck. That's H-E-R. And then H-O-T-E-L. Truck, T-R-U-C-K. To spell the name of the 2010 Academy Award winner for Best Picture. In doing so, Catherine Bigelow became the first and only woman to also win the Academy Award for Best Director. Roy's putting, hey Trish, you have the same points as Paul had shots on the back 9 yesterday. Oh dear. Was it a bit poor, was it, Paul? I don't know. Sounds a bit of a high number for the back 9. Never mind, Roy, you never said, well, you have seen me play golf. I've never scored less than that, but never mind. So question 1 again, rearrange the letters in her hotel truck to spell the name of the 2010 Academy Award winner for Best Picture. In doing so, Catherine Bigelow became the first and only woman to also win the Academy Award for Best Director. Fair play to her. Now, do remember, hit the like button if you've liked the quiz tonight, and also just subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's nice and easy. There's some buttons around the screen, very easy to do. Right, question number 2. Now, this is one you can work out. Just needs a bit of lateral thinking. It does help if you've got a team of 7 people, because somebody might be able to come up with this one. A number of villages have called for a ban on litter picking to end ahead of Wiltshire's up-and-coming best-kept village competition. What caused this ban to be imposed back in 2018? My quiz team should get this one, I'm sure. So a number of villages have called for a ban on litter picking to end ahead of Wiltshire's up-and-coming best-kept village competition. What caused this ban to be imposed back in 2018? Right, we've seen the Doom bar off, so it must be time to try the... Can you read that, or is it back to front? Hazy Jane. Hazy Jane. Now, I know... Robin Miller, he especially likes hazy, grapefruit tasting IPAs, and this is one of them. So I expect he's wishing he's testing this one with me, but never mind. Question number 3. This is an interesting question. Supposedly held by Wild Bill Hickok when he was killed, the dead man's hand is a pair of aces and a pair of what? So, Paul, I like to get my money's worth. So, question 3 again. Supposedly held by Wild Bill Hickok when he was killed, The dead man's hand is a pair of aces and a pair of what? Come on, you need some good gamblers or poker players in your team to get that one. Question number 4, straight off the chase from, maybe it wasn't actually, maybe it was off something else, but never mind. It was off the telly last week or some description. Question number 4, which character from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland sings the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat, How I Wonder Where You're At? Do you want me to sing it? No, I'll probably not sing that one. So, which character from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland sings the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat, How I Wonder Where You're At? Question number 5 for all you gamblers. I have to say my wife won some money on this. Rachel Blackmore recently became the first female jockey to win the Grand National. But what was the name of the horse she was riding? Come on, I'm sure some of you would have had some money on that one. We did. We had £1 on it. On the nose. We won a magnificent £12 back, which just about covered the bets we put on the other horses that fell over at the first fence. But never mind. So Rachel Blackmore's recently became the first female jockey to win the Grand National. But what was the name of the horse she was riding? Question number 6 is ruder than it actually is, but never mind, sounds ruder than it is. Caused by the involuntary contraction of small muscles, piloerection is the medical name for what common condition? So question 6 again, caused by the involuntary contraction of small muscles, piloerection is the medical name for what condition? Question number 7 is one that all you quizzers have got to know sooner or later in your quiz history, in your quiz career. If you're going to become a top classical quizzer, how many secret herbs and spices are there in the recipe for KFC's fried chicken? So question number 7, how many secret herbs and spices apparently are there in the recipe for KFC's fried chicken? Obviously it's a number, less than 100, it's more than 1. Somebody in the team's going to know that one, surely. Number 8, a little bit more up to date. Prince Philip, who died recently, was born in 1921 on which Greek island? I'm sure you've all read that somewhere. So Prince Philip, who died recently, was born in 1921 on which Greek island? Question number 9. By what stage name is Harry Roger Webb, who was born in Lucknow, India, on October the 14th, 1940, better known? Robin's just saying, what? Prince Philip's died when? Yes, you like me, Robin. We had blanket coverage, didn't we, by the BBC, BBC 2, BBC 3, BBC 4, Channel 5, ITV, ITV6. Every channel seemed to cover the whole damn thing all afternoon. And into the evening and the following day and the following day. But never mind. I wouldn't say it was blanket coverage, but it was. But never mind. So question 9 again. By what stage name is Harry Roger Webb, who was born in Lucknow, India, on October the 14th, 1940, better known. And finally, to see you all off, here we go. Question number 10. It's Carol's favourite singer. It's my mother-in-law's favourite singer as well, Carol. She always has his calendar every year on a wall. Well, there was that one year when she didn't buy a calendar. She'd gone off him for 12 months. Yes, but she's back onto him again. Anyway, no, not physically. You know. Anyway, question number 10. How many coloured squares would you find on the surface of a Rubik's cube? Keith saying, could Philip sing? Certainly couldn't sing as well as me, Keith. No, that's for sure, but never mind. Oh dear, my absolute favourite singer. Could Philip sing? So question 10 again. How many coloured squares would you find on the surface of a Rubik's cube? Well, they're not really squares, are they? They're nearly square. They round the corners off a little bit, don't they? So you know what I mean, though. Right, 10 general knowledge questions there. 8 which were easy, 2 of which were tricky. That might sort the winners and the losers out, but we will see. I wouldn't put it past the 2 top teams or all of you to get all those right, but we will see. Now, do remember, I do a quiz on a Wednesday night, and you're more than welcome to come and join us on Wednesday night, same time, 8 for 8:15. I'm going to carry on doing the quizzes until such time as our pub opens, which is in 4 weeks' time now. So we're 4 weeks away from opening up again, and then I've got to judge when we can start doing a quiz again, because it won't be straight away. So it's probably going to be at least 6 to 8 weeks before we can start doing a quiz back in the pub again. But we'll see, because we don't know how this, whether there's going to be a spike and we're going to be closed back down again as soon as we open. You know, we'll have to see how we go. Right then, everybody, let's go through some answers to that round. Pencils and pens down. Let's hope we've had a bit of argument through the teams to get the correct answers to all those questions. Right then, number 1, rearrange the letters in the words her hotel truck to spell the name of the 2010 Academy Award-winning Best Picture. That was called The Hurt Locker, which, of course, was directed by Catherine Bigelow. Number 2, the number of villages have called for a ban on litter picking to end ahead of best kept village competition in Wiltshire. This was basically imposed because of the Novichok poisoning in Salisbury. They didn't want anybody picking anything up. So basically that was a couple of years, 3 years ago now. So I'm sure that they should possibly be allowed to start picking again soon. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of litter around Salisbury. Question number 3, supposedly held by Wild Bill Hickok when he was killed. The dead man's hand is a pair of aces and a pair of eights. A pair of eights. Well done if you got aces and eights. Number 4, which character from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland sings the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat? That's the Mad Hatter. Rachel Blackmore recently became the first female jockey to win the Grand National on Minella Times. Minella Times. Well done if you got Minella Times. Number 6, of course, that involuntary contraction of small muscles. Piloerection is the medical name for goosebumps. Goosebumps, which we all get when we get a bit cold. Number 7, how many secret herbs and spices are in the recipe for KFC's fried chicken? Well, it's one you either knew or you didn't. That's 11. Apparently, there are 11 secret herbs and spices in KFC's fried chicken. Well done if you got that, because somebody in the team might have got that. Number 8, of course, Prince Philip was born on Corfu. Number 9, Harry Roger Webb is better known as Cliff Richard. Obviously, somebody's favourite singer of all time, said Carol. And finally, number 10, how many coloured squares would you find on the surface of Rubik's cube? Well, it's 9 by 6, which is 54, according to my mathematics. So it's 54 coloured squares you would find on a Rubik's cube. So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, and we will see how we're fared. There were a couple of tricky ones, as I said, in that. Probably the Novichok poisoning and the secret herbs and spices, but never mind. We'll see. Valplants and the Quizzy Rascals, well, they've managed a fantastic 64 points in tonight's quiz, so well played. Val Barnes and the Quizzy Rascals, as always, fantastic score. The Wheat Links end up on 54. We've got Carol Green on 59 points, Pinky and Perky on 55. Mike Yates has ended up with 49. Well done, Mike. Sarah Russ James and Joe on 50 points. Well played from our Worcester contingent. As 49 from the Yorkers, so well played the York contingent. Mick Roberts and Bev on 53 points. Well played, Mick and Bev. There are Bilton contingent. We've got David and Anderson from Essex. Well played them on 53 points. Graham and Jane Gifford from sunny Toft on 58 points. PRS ended up with 63 points. Well played, PRS. Jenna and Tracy on 54. We've got Ian. He's booked 9 by 5, 50. What's that? How about 9 by 5? 54. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Ross Wally's on 48 points. We've got the teasers, 65 points. I knew it. I knew some team might get the lot. So well played to Clive Janet and the teasers, who only had 7 in their team tonight, but fair play to them, 65 points. Keith Mitchell on 50 points. We have Faye and the Boob Prize scores on 52. Pick a Mix end up with 58. That's a great score. Squeaky Bomb on 53. We've got Famous 5 also on a cracking score, 56 points. Chris Merrin St. Ives, best ever score, but still only 45. Never mind, Chris. It's coming, slowly but surely. Trish Ridgeway, that's a cracking score, 59 points for the Ridgeways. Well played. From Sonny Welton. Ian Inchbottle of Sharans, they've ended up with 56 points, which is another very respectable score. As is Devin McCarthy's 56 points, and Home Alone 6 on 55 points. Not much, very close between all these teams. Ian, Anthony James and Don Quizzotti end up on 59 points. We've got the Rugby Roach Club. They've ended up with 62 points. Oh, dear, the blue note on the last round of the couple there, but never mind. Well played, the Rugby Roach Club. That's a fantastic score. Anybody in the 60s tonight has done remarkably well, so well played, Kevin and the gang. Penny Graham ends on 41 points. Clive Janet the teasers went for my answers. That's the way forward. Split the Difference end up on 60. Well played, Split the Difference. That's a cracking score as well. Lisa Lasky, Team UK USA on 54 points. Michelle Sam, 58 points. Brilliant. Charlie rated that question on litter picking. Well played. First class questions. Thanks for that. He says, Mike Yates, thanks for the quiz. Martin Davis also saying thanks. And do remember, you can come and join us Wednesday, if not next Sunday. Do feel free to hit the like button before you go. If you haven't already liked me, just hit the like button. It does make all the difference. So good night all. Thank you very much for tuning in. It seems to have gone without too many problems tonight, even if my singing, as usual, was to the high standards that Robin expects. And and we'll look forward to seeing you all another night. So if you can't come and join us on Wednesday, do feel free and come and join us next Sunday night, same time, same place for Nick's Sunday Night Quiz. So good night all, and thank you very much for taking part, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. So good night all, stay safe.